Welcome back to Successful Saturdays. I'm your host, G.I. Jada. Joining us today, we have the lovely Kayanna Lovett. She's a dynamic entrepreneur, pageant queen, and community leader with a heart for impact. Originally from Michigan and now based in Texas, she's the founder of Meraki Cleaning Services and KL Teen Pageants. From overcoming personal hardship to mentoring young girls and advocating for underserved communities, Kayanna is a true force of resilience and purpose. Currently holding the title of Miss Texas US United 2025, she is using her platform to inspire the next generation of leaders with grace, grit, and soul. Welcome, Kayanna. How are you?
Hello, Jada. Hello, girl. It's so nice to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've been definitely looking forward to this.
Me too.
Had to start them off right with the lovely introduction.
Yes, that was such a beautiful introduction to me and who I am. So I appreciate those kind words. I definitely do.
And that's what we want to get to know today. We want to know, who is Kayanna Lovett?
Who is that girl? Who is she?
Tell us.
Oh, okay.
No, we
are jumping right into it.
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
Yes,
Let's just jump right into like
it.
where you're from. Like you said, you originate from Michigan.
Yes, so I am originally from Lansing, Michigan. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and now I'm living that cowgirl lifestyle right here in Houston, Texas.
Yes, and I love that for you. And before we dive more into it, I want to ask you, and you can kind of explain to the viewers how we met.
Yes.
What is our backstory? What's our history?
Okay, so let me tell you, I was getting my locks done when I had locks at the time, which we'll get into that
too. Don't worry.
And my loctician was like, I know this girl and she's amazing. She's very like entrepreneur spirit, just like you. I think y'all should link, follow her on Instagram. That was like 2 years ago.
Shout out to our girl, Desiree.
Yes, our girl, Desiree. Love her really bad. And so I literally just stalked you for 2 years. I watched you do event after event. I watched you be so bold when you were up there speaking. I watched you in your army outfit, your military outfit. I was like,
my uniform.
Yes, and you look so good. Like, that's what I'm talking about. A woman in uniform just... it's something beautiful about it. And so
that's very flattering.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're that girl. I love that for you.
Together we're them girls.
Yes. And so I was like, okay, I am ready to start building KL Teen Pageants. Let me start building and meeting and networking with people to, fulfill the vision that I have around the mission that I'm trying to do. So I slid right into your DMs like a nigga. Oh. I said, hello, Jada.
No, I was really flattered. I remember that was a while. Well, we had followed each other some time ago, because I would see you come across my timeline, but it was more recently when you reached out to me, like maybe a few months back, pretty much like letting me know that like, hey girl, I've been watching you, but I've just been, working, getting myself together and trying to figure out how I can incorporate you into what I have going on. And I let you know about my event, the Successful Saturdays Fashion Forward.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so I was basically posting about it, and you like, hey girl, I really want to come to that. Like, I think that's what you told me. Like, yeah, I've been wanting to meet you for a while now. So I'm like, okay, girl, thank you. Like, come on.
And it was such a pleasure meeting you. Like, you did your thing that day. I was like, look at her hosting this event. Like, such an inspiration. Like, I really love seeing you in that aspect up there with the mic and doing your thing. Like, it was such a great event. So thank you for inviting me. And we definitely had a good time. The bartender was real nice to us.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to all the bartenders. Shout out Crew Lounge.
Yes.
They always take care of us. And I love hosting networking events there, but we get into the show. This year is going to be a lot more of the show.
Yes,
so,
yes.
But thanks. Shout out Davion as well.
Yes, my boyfriend. Coming. Hopefully one day. But yes, my boyfriend Davion.
He's over there in the corner. He knows what's up.
Yeah, he's holding it down right now for us.
Number one supporter.
Number one. My biggest fan. I love him. So we met about 3 years ago around this time on Facebook. look. And I'm not a time limit person. So we went to Buffalo Wild Wings for our first date. And that was such a good experience. It's a memory for real. Now I look back at it like, oh my gosh, it was raining. And we literally sat outside of B-Dubs for like 3 hours in the rain talking. And then, girl, he came over and just never left.
He's like, go home, Roger. We love that.
For real.
So it was love at first sight.
Yes, it was. It was.
We believe in love at first sight.
And we do. Like all those time limits, you got to wait a year before you. No, if your heart tells you to go and do that, you jump up and you go do that. And if it doesn't work out, like, you just shrug your shoulders and you move on. But
real love, you're going to fight for it. You're going to make it work. And y'all are going to last forever. Cheers. Cheers to love.
Clock that tea, Miss Jada. Yes, ma'am.
Move on to the next topic. So, how did KLTP come about?
Yes. So KL Teen Pageants has been a journey. I was 14 when I originally started KL Teen Pageants. And that was such a beautiful... Yes. Back in Indianapolis. It was such a beautiful experience. And so I had my first pageant and that was beautiful, working with the girls. And I originally started doing this pageant because I did a pageant that was something similar. It wasn't about beauty. It wasn't about the makeup. It wasn't about your dress and heels. Mm-hmm. It was about who you are as a person. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to take this and I'm going to change the narrative of that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to add to that. So I turned pageantry into something more. I was like, I'm going to create this 6-week program where teen girls, middle school and high schooler girls can, come to this safe space and, enjoy being with other girls who are in the same space as them, maybe dealing with some insecurities, maybe battling things at home that they just really can't talk about with other people. So what's better than to get in a group with others and talk about it together? And so I did that. It was, like I said, such a beautiful journey. I did crown some girls and, recently, I'm
sure it became like a safe space.
It was. It definitely was.
Definitely more than about beauty pageant.
It definitely was. So like I said, it's a 6-week program and the girls do a lot of things through that 6 weeks. So it's not just getting up there doing a walk. No, we learned a dance. So that was our opening number, which I thought was really fun. A lot of pageants opening numbers are just, a simple outfit and walk. And so for my casual theme, we did you know what? I don't even know what we did. Oh, you know what? I'm lying. We did a geeky thing. So the girls got up there with their suspenders on and they were able to be themselves by just being a geek. And so that was really fun to watch them.
Quirky.
Yes.
Probably how really some of them are.
Yes, exactly.
Really smart.
Exactly. And they really were. It was some girls that was like, I'm so glad this is it because I could do this. And it was something that they were like, I can do. It wasn't like, okay, how am I about to get this and how I'm going to figure this out.
You inspired them. You literally showed them this is how you do it.
Yes, and they got up there and did their thing. They did. And so KL Teen Pageants is something that I'd love to bring back to my life. So I was like, let me just jump back into it. I'm about to jump back into this pageant world. And so I did with becoming Miss Texas US United 2025.
Yes, congratulations. Yes, you are. You are now Miss Texas US United. And what do you plan on doing?
Oh my gosh.
For the year. You have it for the whole year?
Yes. That is going to be me for a year. I am going to wear the mess out of that crown and sash everywhere.
We're going to show them the crown and sash later when we come back from our break. Y'all have got to see this.
Because it is so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I'm so excited about the pageant.
It literally gives Black Queen.
It does. Mm-hmm. It does. I feel so good when I put it on too. And that's what the pageant should feel like. You should feel really great when you wear it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. And I'm headed to nationals. So now I'm even more excited because I've competed in a lot of pageants, but I've never placed first. And so typically I'm always runner up and, I've had a few judges tell me, you're just too authentic. There's no extra professionalism to you. And that kind of hurt my feelings because
do they not know that you started the business at 14?
They don't. And, I try to talk about it in the pageant industry and it's something that is curved because you don't really want to talk about another pageant in a pageant.
Okay.
So I was recently just working with another pageant queen that wanted to be my coach and she she was like, your platform is pageants? And I'm like, yeah, girly, it is. And she was like, I think you should do something else. Like maybe use your grief, or maybe use, your background, the things that you've been through, or even the homelessness. And I was like, no, I'm going to use KL Teen Pageants.
You have been through a lot of things, and we can talk about that too as well, because I was going to ask, because you said they titled you as too authentic and too, really what it's trying to say is like, look, you're a little too raw, rough around the edges. But it's
for the pageant world.
You've been through some things in life. And I know, we had a great talk. We actually have had some time to really get to know each other and share some stories. Y'all, like, I was so impressed by this girl. Like, she had my jaw, like, we had a whole, like, I wish somebody was in the background filming that could have been the interview. But I know that you have left some things behind. I know you don't want to base your whole platform around that. I felt like I did help you see a different aspect, like, for some of the things.
Absolutely.
To help inspire, especially young teens, young women, young girls, that may be in some of those things right now, and they might not see a way out, and it's like, you made a way out. So
yes, and that is my story. Like, I walk boldly.
One little thing to kind of give them a glimpse, like, what would you tell them?
That is such a good question.
You don't have to say everything.
We're going to save that for later, because we're going to get into it. You know what? So my history, the things that I've been through growing up in the Midwest, has put me in rough places, but it's literally made me the woman I am today, going through so much and literally carrying an elephant on my back at the age of 17. Like, that was so mind-blowing. So if there is one thing that I could tell anybody that's going through that, it's literally keep pushing. This does not have to be the ending. You can continue to write the book, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm writing the book.
Don't let them box you in. Don't let them put you in a label. No. Don't let them use your past against you.
Especially like with the pageants, I just kind of shook that off, because I am going to be my authentic self, like, no matter what. If it's friendships, relationships, business situations, even with my cleaning company, that's one of the things that gets me my clients. When they speak to me, they're like, oh wow, I love you, but I'm not like, trying to sell them a home. I'm just trying to sell you a clean, and that's relatable.
So fast forward, you started the cleaning company here when you were already in Houston?
Yes.
This was one of the things you decided to do, or how did that come about?
So I moved to Houston, after, like I mentioned, after my brother passed away. And when I moved to Houston, I was having trouble finding work due to my background. And I had started working at the Juicy Crab, and I absolutely did not like it. And then I worked at Frank's Grill, and they let me go for taking June 10th off. And of course, being the only African American, I was like, yeah, no, I'm tired of working for other people. Mind blowing, girl, because I was so mad.
That's crazy. This must have been before they made it a federal holiday. It's a federal holiday.
It was already a federal holiday. It was such a...
Look, that's a whole nother conversation.
Literally a whole nother conversation. But that kicked me into gear. I'm like, okay, sister girl, what are you about to do with your life? Because you didn't come to Houston to do what you did in Indianapolis. And so I jumped right into it. I've always been a cleaner. I've been cleaning since I was like 16. I started off cleaning Michigan State University's dorms.
Oh, period. She always been a hustler. Always.
Always.
Really like thugging it and out there doing your thing. So it's not surprising whatsoever. If I at one point wanted to have a cleaning company. I was like, close family friends where they would, pay me to come clean their house or like their office spaces. But it is a lot of work. It's like not a lot of overhead, but it's a lot of like physical labor. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that it's a good, it's a good industry to get into.
Definitely.
But Everyone is so hard.
A clean home, especially with things going on like Airbnbs and they use like third-party contracts to come clean their homes and stuff.
Yes.
A little bit of tea. Like, we know you're like a full, well-rounded entrepreneur.
Yes.
There's so many gems you could probably give them.
Absolutely.
But, I wanted to ask you, why is helping the youth so important to you, specifically like young teenage girls?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So thank you, girlie, for asking that. Because the youth is so important to me, because Although I had a mother that was around, I still struggled a lot in my teen days. Like dealing with bullying because I was so authentically myself. You know, my mom didn't, keep my hair done all the time, and I didn't have J's on my feet. But I also was the tallest girl, in my class, and so
you naturally just stood out. I'm sure.
Yeah, literally, like stood out, bing. And so when I started to like get bullied, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, can y'all leave me alone? And I would go from school to school to school because then I was fighting. Like I had to fight to set the tone to let them know, like, y'all can keep talking about me, but as soon as you try me, and that led to me being expelled. I was suspended so much. And so it was just such a dark place for me. I even started being homeschooled because I couldn't get into schools anywhere. My mom had shipped me back to Michigan to live with my auntie because I couldn't get into schools.
And that's so crazy that you still have that heart to want to help young girls after like young girls literally like bullied you.
Yeah, but it's a reason behind everything. I feel like, and kind of really to answer your question, teen girls go through so much that who can they really talk to? They're not going to really confide in their parents because is your parent really a safe space? Or are you scared to let them know that you're thinking about having sex? Are those are the conversations that teen girls are scared to have. And so they're having them with the wrong people. And I was having them with the wrong people, with multiple wrong people at that. And I was just like, gosh, like our teens are just going down the drain. I watched a lot of my friends 16, 17 pregnant. And I'm like, girl, you got life ahead of you. Like you willing just to throw all that away because of something temporary? And so I realized that those girls who were getting pregnant, they didn't value themselves. They didn't come from a strong home. They didn't have that village around them to inform them about safe sex and birth control. And so I kind of just would love to be that for my girls. Like as the pageant girl, I really want to be their pageant mom. I want to help them through so many things. This is a 6-week program. They're going to go through things at school. I want them to be like, let me go to my safe space and talk to somebody that got some sense that's going to put me on the right path and also tell me what it is. Because I am going to always tell them, if you're wrong, you're wrong.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Got to keep it real with them. You got to.
So talking about your teenage years back then, what do you think are some of the most challenging things that teenage girls face today? I know it wasn't too long ago that you were a teenager. No, it wasn't, but times are changing rapidly.
They are dramatically. So the number one thing that right off back that I'm going to say is social media. Social media has these teen girls thinking that they need to live luxurious and that nothing goes wrong in their life. And so it was funny because I ended up asking ChatGPT, like, why is that such a problem? And ChatGPT was like, because these teen girls are trying to be like the girls on social media. They're doing their makeup before school. Well, I didn't do my makeup before I went to school because I was going to school to have a good time, to learn, to mingle with my friends.
At 5 o'clock in the morning for track practice,
exactly,
running, and
exactly, sports. So how are y'all doing y'all makeup? But social media has you thinking that you can't go to school without makeup. You can't go to school without your hair done.
I would not make it in today's society as a teenager. Be so much pressure.
You and me both. I wouldn't either.
I got a little bullied as a teenager and growing up through school because my skin, I have eczema, and I had it really bad as a young kid, and I got picked on because of it. But I was athletic. I was strong. I had 2 sisters. My older sister did not play about me, so nobody really tried it too much. But it was like, dang, y'all are mean. And today people are like, oh, you have so much confidence and everything like that. And I'm like, man, I wasn't going to let them
if only you knew.
Get me down. Because then I started looking good. I got cute. And now it's like,
yes, ma'am.
I can't say anything.
Yeah. And that really inspired you and helped you become the person you are today. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. Those little situations will really mold you later. That. Yeah. Because you shouldn't have to go through that to get to your stage of feeling good, being comfortable. And so I love that for you. And your eczema is absolutely beautiful, girl.
Yes, I do have some people that are actually obsessed with it. They think I have cool skin.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you a rattlesnake. And really cute. I like, and snakes are like really
But I'm
beautiful.
not a snake though. I'm not.
Yeah, not the actual analogy. I'm talking about the skin, because snakes' skin are very, very silky and smooth, although it looks bumpy and rough, and it's not. So yeah, no, your skin is absolutely beautiful, and girl, you wear that thing proudly. Keep doing your thing.
Are you scared of snakes? Do you like snakes?
No, I keep trying to get my boyfriend to let us get one.
They have this thing. They actually just passed a reptile expo.
Girl,
you've probably seen the signs all over Houston. They be big.
Yeah,
signs.
I done been the last 2 years. This year we didn't go because I was like, if we're not gonna go buy a snake, what are we going for?
I only have made it 1 year. They always do it when I have drill weekend. So this past weekend when I was just working, everybody was at the reptile expo. I wouldn't get anything, but I like to go look and
it's a fun experience. It was definitely a fun experience because it's not just snakes, like they have everything. So it's really a good experience.
I think now would be a good time. Take a little break, take a little intermission.
Okay. So far, thank you so much for coming, and we are going to step into an intermission real quick, get our glasses refilled, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more about me, who I am, and what do I hold for Houston. So sit tight. We'll be right back.
Period. This is an ad about an ad, how you can advertise your business right here on my show, Successful Saturdays. If you'd like to advertise your business, contact me so that I can replace this video with your ad right here on Successful Saturdays. Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for watching thus far. We're still here with Kayanna. Thank you again for being here. I just wanted to say that. And for calling me to do this, really.
Yes.
Like, oh, I got to be on your show. I'm like, you do.
Yes.
I want everybody to feel like that.
No, thank you for having me. Like I said earlier, you're such a great person, and I love the way you just carry yourself. So who better to do this interview on me than you?
And who better to interview you than me?
Period.
But I'm having so much fun interviewing you.
Yes.
I would love to interview you again.
We're going to have to do a part 2. We're going to have to do like a girls session, like a mama.
Yeah,
we can
let's
gather
get
up
some
a girls
on here.
Yeah, because I'm a girl's girl. So you know me, I like to chit chat with the girlies, friendships, relationships, like all of that.
We should take it to the streets. Interview these young girls.
Yes,
where their mindsets at. Check the temperature.
Check their temperatures for sure.
But let's get right back into it. I do want you to talk to me about your brother, Marquise. You did mention that his passing did impact you greatly in your decision to move here and start this new life. So tell us about him.
Marquise Deshaun Lovett. That is my brother. He is the middle child, so he definitely had that middle child syndrome.
I'm the middle child.
So you got that middle child syndrome.
Why do they say that? Tell me about him.
Okay. So I grew up, of course, without a father. So my brother was my father. Although I do have an oldest brother, me and him are not as close as me and Marquise was. So Marquise kind of raised me, in his own sense of way. I don't like to say he's my father, but he was the only father figure that I had. He was a father
figure, yeah.
Yes.
That's okay to say.
Yes. And so he just kind of did a lot of things, and we grew up together, and we were like this. This was like my best friend, He faced a lot of challenges, and so did I, during those times that I was going through hardship times, he was also. And so I always kept him afloat. That was my thing for him is, we are going to hit hard times, but we got to push together. What
was the age gap?
So Marquise
what is the age gap?
Marquise, it's about 6 years, 5 years. I think so. Yeah, we're right there. Not a big age gap, but we did everything together. He taught me how to swim, how to ride a bike. So this was like literally my person. Marquise was very much involved in gangs. And so I want to be very transparent when I talk about my brother too, if you guys just don't mind.
Yeah.
He was involved in gangs, and that was one of the things that, he unfortunately passed down to me. I look back at it now like, damn, dang, how did you love me but allow me to become a gang member? Like,
Right.
you know, if he was alive and I was in this mindset that I'm in now, we definitely would be having that conversation. But yes, so Marquise had a lot of things that he was just dealing with, and he was not the best person in the world. You know, I like to just be transparent about that, because when people die, they want to make that person look like they did no wrong, you know.
Right.
But my brother was human, and he really tried his hardest to get on his feet. So when he passed away, he left behind his 3 kids, Anaya, Jeremiah, and Zion.
Oh,
I
those are
love
beautiful
my
names.
nieces and nephews. Beautiful names. And that was such a journey, because he's the only one out of all of us with kids. So that was what he left behind for us.
That was nice of him.
I'm so glad he did.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
too.
glad he did. I was mad when she first got pregnant. I'm like, you are not ready to be a dad. But then now I'm like, oh, I'm so glad he was a dad, because that's what we have
That's
left
what you
of
have,
him.
yeah.
And they look just like him. So
And it's 3 of them.
it's 3 of them, and I love them so much. They still live in Indianapolis, and, you know, one lives in Kentucky, I believe. But Marquise was just an overall still a good person.
Yeah.
And when he passed away as a homeless man. So in the newspaper article, they had put him as a homeless man was just shot downtown at Circle Center Mall. And that broke my heart, because why are we homeless like this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so...
And why did it matter? Why did it have to say homeless?
I know.
Guy? You know, the media is messy. I have
so
a tug
messy.
of war. I try to change the narrative on the media.
Yeah, because that broke my heart, because that's something they didn't have to say. And he was homeless because he just could not get on his feet. You know what I mean? He had things that he had going on. And my brother was battling a lot of mental issues that then at the time I didn't even realize was mental issues.
Yeah.
But now I look back at him and I'm like, oh, my brother needed counseling. Like he needed therapy. He needed to go get help. And so when he passed away,
It's
yes.
June. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness
It
Month.
is.
So men do need therapy. They do need to talk to someone. They do need to get help. It doesn't like make you
Yes.
weak or whatever. People don't even have to know, but you should. I recommend that. And I know you do too. And we'll get more into
Absolutely
that later,
recommend it. It is definitely Men's Mental Health Month, and it's very important that men take care of their mental health, because you know you guys are providers, you guys are the foundation, and you guys carry so much weight on your back. So, yeah, take that moment, go see a counselor, talk to somebody.
We can only
empty
be
your
so
cup.
much of a counselor and a therapist.
Yeah, no, you are
But back
completely
to
right.
Marquise.
But yeah, just what I was saying about Marquise, he very much pushed me, excuse me, he pushed me for this pageant. So he died in 2020, which is the same year I moved here. We caught a train ride, a 23-hour train ride, me and him in that seat, and we just came to Texas. And my brother's never spoken to me since he's been gone. And that really, I dealt with his grief in silence. I literally was so concerned about my mom, because yeah, I lost a brother, but you just lost a son. You lost a child that you carried in your stomach for 9 months, and I can't even imagine, you know, although I've had a miscarriage, but I couldn't have imagined birthing a child and watching him make it all the way to 26 to see his lights get shut off. You know what I mean? And so when I moved here, I spent a lot of time taking care of my mother, and I never took care of myself. I literally cried in silence. I had suicidal thoughts in silence, because my brother was very suicidal. And so I would hear this story over and over again of him telling me, like, you know, just give up. Life is just so stupid. I hate being here. But I felt like that because nothing was working out for me.
After he passed?
Yeah, right after he passed. And so I was hearing those things, and it had me battling silent grief, which is something a lot of people don't talk about. But even though I was so concerned for my mother, as a sister, he played such a big part in my life that I should have took the time to grieve. And so just recently, his death date passed by, and my brother came and spoke to me, and he was like, hey, sister, get up and get back into what you love. Stop thinking about me. I am okay. And after that, I jumped up the next day, and I literally changed my whole life.
Oh,
That was all I needed. I really just needed him to tell me that I was okay.
Yeah.
Because I needed to hear that, because I didn't feel like I was okay. And I was struggling with the silent grief, and I never spoke to anybody about it. I lost a lot of friends behind it, because friends don't know how to deal with somebody who's grieving. Because one moment I'm like happy, and the next moment I'm like, how dare I be sitting here having a mimosa when my brother's dead? Like, I would have those moments, and that's not something that's talked about. So it was just such a rough journey, but I am so glad that I'm here, and I've really come to terms with him being gone, and I'm okay with that now.
That's good. How is it like now that you've had that moment? How's your life like with your brother not being here with us physically? Now that you've had that moment and you're able to get up and do these things.
Life has been so different. Like from that moment he spoke to me, it was like the elephant like went back to Dubai or Thailand or something off my back. Like he jumped right off of me and went on with his life. And I was able to like, you know, sit and journal and be with myself and be like, okay, you know, your brother said to go on and live your life and get back into the things that you love, which he knew was pageants. You know, he was there for my first pageant. He did my production. He did, he made music. So he was a producer. So he did all of those things for me. And my brother has just kicked me up a gear, and that's why I am where I am right now. That life-changing moment literally changed my life, and a little bit into the change of my life.
So do you feel healed now? Are you still going through your healing journey? What does that look like for you?
You know what?
What do you do personally for your self-care?
That is such a good question,
your mental
girlie.
health.
That is such a beautiful question. Thank you so much for asking that. I won't say that I'm healed, because that's a pain that it's an empty feeling that just could never be filled. And especially because I don't have that relationship with my brother, I'm not looking to fill that void. I actually don't mind it being there, because that's where my brother is.
That's his space.
And I had to accept it.
Girl,
yeah,
it up.
He sure
right there
is.
with you.
Girl, I was like, take up that space, because I don't even mind. So, so far as healing, I did not. But I've been in counseling. I've spent the past 14 years of my life in counseling.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, a long
like half
time.
of your life.
Yes.
She's a very young lady.
I am 27, so yes, things started young for me when I started going to counseling, and so for me, I had to start valuing self-care.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, girl.
Who introduced you to counseling? Like, how did you know about counseling at such a young age?
Well,
Was it your mother?
Unfortunately, I was sexually assaulted when I was young. And so after dealing with the whole court proceedings, like going to school and stuff was rough for me, because these boys, they really told on themselves. Like, and we'll have to get into that for a little quick snippet.
For the next interview or this interview? You know,
we can save it for the next. Because, yes, but they ended up telling on themselves. And so it was a community thing. Like, everybody in the hood was like, yeah, your sister just, and I was like, no. And my brothers came over like ready to fight them, because they like, you know, the dudes was going around telling everybody that they had did this to me. And that's not what happened. And so I was embarrassed. And so one of the court recommendations was, you know, we have this place called Legacy House in Indianapolis. And that's where my journey started. And that's where I started journaling at. And I had really great counselors, really beautiful counselor. And even my counselor now, Miss Melanie,
Miss
Melanie, that is my girl. She is getting me through so many things right now at my big age still. And people are like, why are you still going to counseling?
Because it's a work in progress. We need counseling every day. I'm
every day.
Miss Melanie.
Girl, go see her, because she's going to pour into your cup. Literally, your cup is going to be back here after you're done talking to her, because she does that. And that's what counseling is. It's not just because you just constantly have stuff going on, but
you can go to counseling for good things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of our conversations now with Miss Melanie are good things, because I don't have all this bad stuff going on.
Look at God. So
counseling is definitely a part of it, but the self-love journey, the self-care journey by itself is what carries me through the day. I'm so grateful for my boyfriend who allows me that space, because it's some days that I'm still struggling with my brother, and it's hard to wake up and go clean and get active, but I push through all that, because I take a day, I'm like, okay, my cup is full, let me go take me a bath, let me go to the spa, let me catch a flight, whatever fulfills my heart at the moment, I'm getting up and doing it.
Amen. I love that for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And going back to your brother and him being homeless, and even them mentioning that in the news article, kind of answers my question, but I still want to ask, why is homelessness so important to you? I see you doing things even to this day in the community, food drives, handing out toiletries, just whatever you can. You reach out and bring all your resources together. I know I told you I wanted to be a part of the next one.
And I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah, let's do it. I do things just by where I live. I see homeless people and I might have extra food from work or something. I just give it to them, It's not like a whole planned out thing, but I just do what I can. And I talk to some of them because some of them are veterans. I'm always interested to know, like, why are you guys out here? There's resources, there's this, there's that, but a lot of it does go back to their mental health. But
big time.
Why is that important to you?
So the homelessness community in general is such a big thing to me because I spent roughly 7 years in and out of homeless shelters, in and out of people's houses, and that's because I had stipulations. I technically messed my life up at 17, unfortunately.
You were young though. Did you really mess your life up, or did your community, your environment?
Listen, I feel like being charged as an adult at 17, freshly 17, it just sucks because like I was doing stuff that I shouldn't have been, but it was still in. So to be charged as an adult and then have to, pay for it for a long time, because I ended up going, I did a half a year in jail, which was really rough because I was like, why am I in here? I am the cutest girl in here with these people.
Yes, let's back up. Why were you in there? I think we kind of just jumped the gap. I mean,
we did.
Told me why you were in there, but like,
yes, so
17, fast forward.
Yes, when I was 17, my dad was like, never in my life, and he was like, yeah, come to Michigan, you can come stay with me. And then 2 weeks later, he didn't have his own place and he got put out, and so I got put out and I was homeless because my mom was like, you can't go stay with my grandmother and stuff. And so I just literally turned to the streets because I felt like I needed to get money and I needed to figure out my own way out here. And so I became one of the biggest boosters in Lansing. Like, I did my thing. Unfortunately, I'm not proud of that, but I had to do what I had to do
to survive. You were in survival mode. And
definitely
you were
in survival mode. And so I ended up catching a charge, a felony charge from stealing from theft, actually. And so it was a deep theft, and it's really hard to get a job with theft. And a lot of people be like, oh, it's just petty theft. But unfortunately, I was stealing from the job I was working at, and that was such a big no-no. Like, I am literally paying for it every day.
Yeah. How do you feel like that's held you back?
So definitely with jobs. I didn't go to college. I wanted to go to school for criminal justice. I always thought about being a private investigator. That was always my lifelong dream.
You can do that in part 2 of your life.
Girl, it kind of is too late. It kind of is.
I will make it happen, okay? You got breath in your body.
It definitely, and
not right now, a little late.
You know what, and it's not too late, but it's not something that I would spend my time pursuing anymore. So I did go to college. I was on the dean's list. I held that 3.9 GPA after being a high school dropout. So I was like really proud of myself.
Okay, fly. Sorry, we have a guest on the set.
I was really proud of myself because I was like wanting to do this. And then I decided to not go to college. I dropped out after almost achieving my associate's degree because I realized that I have this felony on my background. I was on probation for 6 years after the charges. And so a lot of people don't know, but your 7 years doesn't start until you're off of probation. So although I was 17 when I committed the crime, I was 23 by the time I got off probation. So my 7 years just started, and I'm 27. So my years is coming up. I'm super excited about that because I'd love to, go get my own apartment, and I'd love to go get a 9-to-5 job. I've never been able to experience those things because how? I mean, no job was willing to give me an opportunity, which is how Merake started as well.
I love that. So you pretty much took your trials, your hardships, and you turned them into tribulations, literally.
Every day, girl. Every day.
You definitely learned from that. What's the main thing you feel like you learned from that situation?
Girl, I never stole nothing a day again in my life, okay? If it's not yours, don't you touch it. If it was not mine, I was not touching it at all. Like, even till this day, I found a phone the other day at the park, and I was like, let me hop on TikTok so we can return this phone because I'm not taking it with me. Like, there was nothing in this world that could ever make me steal again. And I was addicted to it. So I went for probation. I went through classes and everything. And so I literally had to change the whole narrative on that. But also just realizing that turning to the streets was not it. The money was good. It was fast. It was quick. It was easy. but that has no positive outcome to it. And so, yeah, at my big age now, I'm still suffering with that. And I am hoping that this too shall pass very soon, because I'm ready to go on with my life.
And you will.
Very soon, girl, very soon.
So who inspires you the most to just keep going on with your life?
Me. You know what? And I love that question. I hope that's one of the questions that they asked me at the pageant.
Yeah.
Because I've been through so much, like, to wake up every day and keep going after all the things, homelessness, sexual assaults, dealing with my background, being bullied, insecurities within myself. Like, I still get up every day and I show up as Kayanna. And that to me is the biggest flex. And I love her.
I've met you, since I've known you, since we locked in, you have shown out. And
we are. I wake up every day and I show up as Kayanna, and I inspire me the most. Like, I've been through so much that why would I inspire to be anybody else but myself? My story is beautiful. And when I write this book and you guys come to the ending, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm crying because this was such a good book.
What's something that you're working on now, that you're working to improve on, that you feel like you might still be a little embarrassed about? I don't feel like it's your past. You don't seem to be embarrassed about your past.
No, I'm not, because that's just with me, you know. And I actually love telling the story about my past. At first I was embarrassed because a lot of my friends went to college and stuff, and I was just like, gosh, like, what do I have to talk about myself? What do I have good to talk about me? But things that I am looking to improve on, first of all, is that social media, but
we've been like fire and ice with the social media since I met. Every time I'm making her either record a video of me or I'm recording a video of her. But you have a big social media following.
I do. I'm almost at like 10,000 on TikTok.
You're a TikTok girly. I'm not a TikTok girly, so I can't, like, I'm like the pot calling the kettle black right now, but you know, I be on that Instagram.
Yes, you are an IG girl.
I be on that Instagram, and social media is a huge thing right now. So why is it still not a thing for you, being that you do have that TikTok?
So
obviously you want to improve on it.
I would like to improve, and you've already helped me. The other day when you came over and you was like, yeah, girl, get that crown and sash because we're about to go make content. I was like, oh my gosh, Jada. And I'm so glad that we did.
And you did it so effortlessly, girl.
I did.
You disappeared for like 10 minutes and you came back with full glam, sash, crown, dress,
I said, Jada's not playing with me. Let me hurry up and go.
I was.
Yes. And so social media is just one of those things. I don't know what it is about the cameras. I feel like I am that girl in person. Like, if you ever met me in person, like when we first connected at Crew, you were like, oh my gosh, you are so cool. Like,
everybody was on Crew, on the gram. Commenting on your stuff the next day.
They were. I made so many great connections. I love a good networking event, and you did that. I keep giving you your flowers. I keep giving you your flowers for that.
When you come back for the pageant, it's up, because I want you to lock in and go to the pageant.
But yeah, just to really answer your question, things that I definitely like to improve on is also how I talk to people, because I am so authentic myself. I'm a Sagittarius. There is no filter with me. I'm not sugarcoating anything. And so I lose a lot of friends because of that. And
do you feel like that's the most un-pageant queen thing about you?
It is. I probably could say it's the only thing that's
all I can hear.
I think it's the only thing that's unpageant girl like me, because when you ask questions like you just asked me, you know, who do I inspire to be? I'm not going to say Michelle Obama. I'm going to answer how my heart tells me to answer. And so being so authentic, it can shape me, and it can also hurt me. And I feel like it's hurting me a lot, like I was going to say, like with friends and family, because, you know, I don't have a problem with communication. That's not something I lack. I love conversations, and no, not everything is conflict, and some things are just a conversation. Hey girl, I don't like how you did that, and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to be your friend no more. Okay, bye. But instead of just being like, well girl, what did I do? Tell me, and next time I do it, can you call it out? Or let's have a conversation about it, because rather you think that you did it or not did it, my feelings are still valid, and I said I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So kind of going back to answer your other question, so far as pageants, it's definitely one of those things that I am nervous about going into this pageant because I am so nervous about it.
You have a coach for this pageant?
No,
I know what to do. How are you going to work on it?
I have been TikToking university, girl.
TikTok, ChatGPT.
But I already
Speaking of
know.
the pageant and the queen, we're supposed to bring the crown and the sash.
Yeah, Davion, do you mind bringing that over here so we can
get the crown and the sash?
Yes, yes, we're headed there. I want you to put
this on and show them before we wrap this up.
Yes, here. We are definitely headed there.
Much.
National
hubby on deck.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna put the sash on first.
You guys, it's pretty heavy. It's like a real thing. It's a real crown.
Ooh, girl, let me get up and put it on because I want you guys to just be able to see it.
I want you guys to get the full essence of the sash.
And I'm so excited.
I am too. And wait till y'all see the videos that I made of her.
Yes, because my girl told me to come get that content, and I did. She was like, "Put that crown and sash on."
Oh, let me see. Yep, there.
Are we there? Because she was not playing about my crown being on the right way. So yes, here I am.
And I want you to kind of just sit with it on. We're gonna close it out. I want you to keep it on.
Yes,
because you said, you had some nervousness going into the pageant about being authentically yourself. So what does that look like when it comes to practicing for a pageant? Like, do you literally practice the way you speak? Like, what do you do? Are you in the mirror?
So I be talking out loud. Okay. I do Amazon, so I be in these people's Ring cameras. I be like, "Hi, my name is Kayanna Lovett," and I literally just been repeating things so I can get comfortable with what I'm saying. But otherwise, I am just more so nervous about the pageant because I am authentically myself. So some of the dresses that the pageant coach that I was using that she recommended, I was like, "Girl, I kind of don't want to wear that. Like, that's more of teen, I want to go, I'm 27, I'm in the Miss division. Like, give me something grown, give me something classy. Yes. I don't want diamonds and rhinestones like I'm going to prom. You know what I mean? Or even the fun wear. The fun wear is mostly like, a gala wear. What would you wear to the gala? Well, my fun wear is not giving gala. It's giving what I chose to wear.
So I'm going to ask a question and I want you to answer it as if this is nationals.
Okay, here we go.
You are now Miss Texas US United. What do you plan on doing in your year of reign?
Thank you so much, Jada, for that wonderful question. In my year of reign, I plan to go the extraordinary miles, to go extra far with the community service and also with KL Teen Pageants. With the reign, I definitely want to spend my time giving back to the community. My heart is so big for young teen girls, so dealing with KL Teen Pageants is going to be #1 thing for me, taking care of our next generation of leaders. And also with the reign, I would like to spend my time working with other women who are looking to get into pageants, maybe not so much as a pageant coach, but as a person for them to come to same thing as my teen girls.
And the crowd applauses.
Okay. That was pretty good. I was like, keep it short. Don't start talking too much.
So now, you'll know what you need to work on for nationals. Because what day is it?
It is July 17th through the 20th in Atlanta.
And I know you're looking for sponsorship. That's like a big thing. And that's the thing we really push here too at Successful Saturdays, giving those sponsorships. So what I want you to do is to look into that camera right there and give your pitch to these sponsors about Kayanna Lovett, Miss Texas US United 2025, going to
Jada.
How can they help you and you help them help you?
Jada, you are so sweet. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Again, my name is Kayanna Lovett. I am your 2025 Miss Texas US United Pageant Queen, and I am looking for sponsors and donations towards my national pageant that is coming up in July in Atlanta. And I would love to support small and local businesses. I have 3 different packages set out. So if you are interested and would like to hear more about the package, packages that I have available, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email at kayannalovett@hotmail.com. I would love to help you, and you can help me. That is what creating a village looks like. And I'm so excited to go to nationals and bring that title home to Texas.
Yes. What's the title going to be? Sorry, I'm probably a little ignorant to pageants. Miss United States of America. What are we doing?
Miss United States. So I am. This is just a state title. So I'm just over Texas.
When you win national,
but if I win that, then
you win.
Yes, ma'am. When I win, because I definitely have plans to go and eat this title up. I am literally going to earn this title with every sweat, blood, and tears in my heart. I practice day and night, and I need to touch up on them questions. But so far as it's gonna be an overall title. I would be just Miss US United, and that'll be the overall title. And it's a beautiful thing. Pageantry is so much more than just like the dresses and the glam, but it's about your platform. It puts you in great spaces. You know, it puts you in higher places. It connects you with people who needs the connection, and it also puts you in great places with your community. And I'm gonna be wearing my crown and sash to everywhere in to any community event. And if you would like me to come to your event, give me a call, shoot me a message.
Me too. I would like to come as a +1.
Yes, we come in. We're coming to the event.
Package deal.
She said we're a package deal.
Real quick though, I'm going way back to the beginning when I asked you to tell them how you knew me. And you mentioned Desiree. That was our girl doing our locks. And I still have my locks, but you, ma'am, you don't have your locks.
Girl, a beautiful journey though, and your locks are beautiful.
It's such a journey. I wish I could have seen yours. Oh, I saw them in a picture. They were really beautiful.
My locks were beautiful. My locks were beautiful, and yours are too.
And you combed them out, and I know a lot of people that have combed it out. It's more common than one would think. I didn't realize until I actually became a part of the lock community that people comb them out.
Yeah.
And you had them for like 10 years.
Yeah. I wanted to cut them off, but I was like, no, what's the point of cutting them off? I decided to comb my locks out because I was ready for a different journey. So when I had that wake up call from my brother, I was like, okay, like something shifting, and my hair was holding so much to me because my brother started his locks literally like a couple of weeks after mine. Like we were a locked family. So
that's what everybody, once I locked my hair, everybody in my family started locking
It's a family thing. Literally all of us, my mom, both of my brothers, my niece and nephew, their mom, it was like we were a locked family. And so I decided to comb my locks out because I wanted to know what it felt like to sit in the mirror and enjoy my hair. And that might sound crazy because a lot of girls were doing it, but I was struggling so much. I didn't get sew-ins and have money for weave and stuff like that. So I did not get to experience that. And my mom didn't, keep my hair, braided and stuff. Like so I was wearing goddess braids.
That's why you locked it? You feel like it was
easier. I decided to lock my hair because I realized that I can't take care of my hair. I hate my hair and I don't know what to do with my hair. So I was so ready to be free from that, Jada. And I'm so glad I did because I love my hair. You guys, this is my first weave. I don't know if that's okay to say, but this is my first weave. I've had my locks out for about 4 months now, and I've just been embracing it. I've literally been just able to sit and comb my hair. Styles and I needed that time in the mirror, girl. I needed that mirror time to really sit with myself and acknowledge and really love myself. And it took my self-love to a whole different level. I'm so glad I did it. But best believe December's rolling around and those sister locks are calling my name because I miss my locks.
That's a whole nother journey though. The sister locks, that's a different journey. I think you look cute with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like my locks. I have goals with what I want to do and how far I want to grow my locks. But I always wonder when I am ready to come to when my lock journey ends, am I going to comb them out? Did you lose a lot of hair?
I don't feel like I lost a lot of hair. I feel like a lot of dead hair came off, but my hair was still very full. That you needed to shed. It needed to go, sister girl. It had to get up out of here. Oh my gosh. I feel so beautiful with my natural hair. I really do. And I did not feel like this in school because I got picked on for my hair. So it's nice to be in a different headspace about my hair. And it's nice to actually even be able to have the funds to take care of my hair, buy the natural products. Is that something that the girls go through in the program? Do you teach about self-image and them loving their hair? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a self-love journey. So I want them to embrace who they want to be and step boldly into who they want to be. Because, you know, I could go and wear weave all the time, but why? When I love naturally being my natural self with my natural hair, sometimes I don't wear makeup, and I love that feeling, and that's an untouchable feeling, because you can say I'm ugly, you can call me weird, you can say anything about me,
They
but
can't say that you're ugly because the girl is beautiful.
beautiful. but it wouldn't hurt my feelings, because I'm so confident in everything I am, and that nothing can shake the spirit of me. So I love that for me.
Yeah, I love that for you too.
Thank you, girl.
I just love you, your character. I'm super excited for you to go to
Thank
nationals.
you.
And we are going to wrap it up. Like I said, I would love to interview you again. Really, we talked about doing the podcast.
I can't wait.
We have so many conversations. I think we should start the podcast and that'll be a late night tip.
Expeditiously.
When do you get back from nationals? Because I want you to lock in.
Yeah, when I get back from nationals, Kayanna is up.
I know
Kayanna
that's like
is
the
up.
main thing that you're working on. I hope I'm not missing anything else that you're currently working on that you want to tell them about before we get out of here?
No, I think you did such a great job with this interview. You covered everything. I appreciate the great questions you asked me. I wanted to do this interview because I really would love people to get to know who I am. And so I feel like mission was accomplished. Good job, Jada. You did your thing.
Because you blew me away. I would not have known some of the things you told me when we sat on that phone. I don't even know. What did we even call each other? Oh, you had texted me. I called you. And then, we were on the phone for like 2 hours.
Literally. And every time we get on the phone, we're on the phone for hours. And I love that because the conversation just so natural and we just feed and bounce off of each other. And I'm so excited. I really look forward to working with you, partnering with you. I'm definitely going to hold you to coming to feed the homeless because I love doing that.
Next thing.
So we're going to have to get in touch so we can get that done expeditiously.
That's too easy. And if you're watching this and you want to contribute, you want to be a part, hit us up. They know, they know where to find me and tell them how can they get in contact with you. You're about to get back on your social media.
Yes, well, let me give y'all them social media handles. So you can definitely find me on Facebook at Kayanna Lovett. My name is spelled Kayanna, and my last name is Lovett, Lovett. My Instagram name is The Era of Kayanna. So TheeraKayanna. Definitely follow me there because that's where I'll be at. And on TikTok, I am Sunflower Child K. I was gonna change my name, but
that was your Instagram name.
It was.
That's why I'm like, wait a minute.
I wanted to do something different.
I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, this is Sunflower K.
Yes, I love the sunflower because I am that flower that grew from concrete, girl, and I follow the sun. It kisses my skin so beautifully, and that's where I'm going. Cheers. Yes, ma'am. You guys follow me.
At Nationals. We're going to follow up with you when you get back.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Jada, for having me. I love you real bad, girly. You are popping your stuff.
She said it. Not me, but I appreciate it, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Successful Saturdays.
All right, you guys. Have a good one. Thank you for watching.